Commercial bus drivers must have a CDL if they drive a vehicle that is designed to carry more than 15 passengers, including the driver. Carry-on baggage cannot be stored in the aisle. Buses may carry small arms ammunition labeled ORMD. When arriving at the destination, announce both the location and next departure time. A disruptive passenger should not discharge where it would be unsafe for them. If your bus leans toward the outside on a bank curve, you are driving too fast. You must stop your bus between 15 and 50 feet before a railroad crossing. At the end of each shift, you should both report any defects and inspect your bus. The interlock system for the brake and accelerator on a transit coach may be used as a safety feature. When the exit door is open, the interlock system for the brake and accelerator. Your bus is disabled. The bus with riders aboard may be towed or pushed to a safe place only if getting off the bus would be riskier for the riders. You may sometimes haul small arms ammunition, emergency shipments of drugs, or hospital supplies on a bus. The total weight of such hazardous materials must not be greater than 500. How many seats not securely fastened to the bus are usually allowed? 0. It is best to wear your seat belt all the time. Which of the following types of cargo can never be carried on a bus with riders? Tear gas. If a rider wants to bring a car battery or a can of gasoline aboard or brass, you should not allow them to do it. Some city transit buses may have a brake door interlock system. This system works when the passenger exit doors are open. When it is carried on a bus, hazardous material must be labeled. You are driving a bus designed to allow standing. Where may a rider stand? Behind the standee line. Before driving, make sure to have the following emergency equipment: fire extinguisher, emergency reflectors, and spare electrical fuses. You must put a loaded bus into motion from a stop position on a steep upgrade, 4% or more. Which of these is the best technique to follow when you have a bus with a manual transmission? Slowly release the clutch while releasing the parking brake. Rough hatches can be in an open position for fresh air. In general, the best braking technique to use in maintaining a safe speed when driving on a downgrade is use the braking effect of the engine to control speed. Which of these is the best general rule for night driving? Make sure your headlights are clean and working. Secure baggage and freight in ways that avoid damage and allow the driver to move freely and easily. How are buses to handle most railroad grade crossings? Start between 15 and 50 feet before railroad crossings. Which of these is a good rule for backing a straight bus? Use voice signals to communicate with helper or back toward the side opposite to the driver. None of these. When you have to back and turn toward the driver's side whenever possible. Which of these forms of signaling is not recommended? Signaling to others that it is safe to pass your bus. You should stop at least 50 feet before the draw of the bridge. In a pressurized cooling system, coolant levels should be checked only by the mechanic or every 90 days. Neither. Before starting out, make sure the engine cooling system has enough water and antifreeze. You need to evacuate your bus in an emergency. Passengers should be directed to a safe place no less than 100 feet from the bus. If your bus has an emergency exit door, it must be secured when operating the bus. Which of the following must be closed while the bus is in motion? Emergency windows. The standee line is a 2-inch line on the floor to the rear of the driver's seat. Charter drivers should both mention rules and explain rules. At a drawbridge with no signal, you should stop at least 50 feet before the drawbridge. Prohibited practices on the bus include both fueling your bus with riders on board and talking with riders while driving. Buses may have recapped or regrouped tires anywhere except the front wheels. When you inspect your bus, you must make sure that both rider signaling devices are working and emergency exit handles are secure. If you have riders aboard, you must never fuel your bus in a closed building. A bus may carry baggage or freight only if it is secured so that both allow riders to exit by any window or door in an emergency and the driver can move freely and easily. You must not permit standing riders in front of the standee line. Due to the extreme size of a bus, the driver must watch for both poles and wires and clear your bus needs. The interlock releases when you close the rear door. Which of the following lists the 3 types of emergency equipment you must have on your bus? Fire extinguisher, spare electrical fuses, and emergency reflectors. You do not have to stop but slow down at both streetcar crossing and when a policeman or flagman is directing traffic. Do not transport any hazardous material unless you are sure the rules allow it. If you increase your speed from 20 to 60 miles per hour, original speed times 3, how much more braking distance is required at 60 miles per hour than at 20 miles per hour? 3 by 3 or 9 times. When driving at more than 40 miles per hour, what is the safe minimum following distance for ideal daytime conditions? 5 seconds. When arriving at the destination or intermediate stops, you should announce the location, reason for stopping, next departure time, and bus number. The proper time to cancel your turn signal for a lane change or turn is when the maneuver is complete.